Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating and air, restoration, flood and remodeling services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
After months of delays and deliberations, construction will soon move forward at the border. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. The original wall at Friendship Park is deteriorating, and the Biden administration is set to build a replacement. But critics have been against any barriers there. KPBS reporter Kitty Alvarado has the latest.
That's right, Maya, and we're near Friendship Park, and that's because access to it has been cut off because of the rains. It has become flooded. But Friendship Park has been a place where families of mixed status and friends have been meeting for years on both sides of the border. And now, if you take a look behind me, you can see Tijuana right here. And that's where you can see also a wall. And we have no idea what the wall at Friendship Park will look like. Maybe it will look something like this, but we have no idea because Customs and Border Protection didn't say what it will look like. But they had planned to replace the old wall and close the pedestrian gate, but they paused those plans last summer because of public concern about access to the park. Now the agency says they analyzed feedback from the stakeholders and community members, and it says it's come up with a solution that will address access and safety, including a pedestrian gate. That access is what advocates and the Friends of Friendship Park have been worried about. They're a binational nonprofit made up of border advocates, religious groups, and local leaders. They met late this afternoon, hearing the work was going forward again, and they're planning a news conference tomorrow morning, and they were not willing to talk to us on camera before then, but we were able to talk to Dr. Gerardo Rios, a professor of Chicano Studies at Southwestern College.
I think that the era of fomenting greater bilateral relations is going to become compromised by an insistence on border militarization, on building walls. I think if anything, this was something that should have been tabled, that should have been discussed. It represented some hope for a lot of people. And those of us who are optimistic, we hope to see that hope remains. Despite the rhetoric of this administration and the previous one.
In a statement, Customs and Border Protection said they would resume their work early this year, and it would take about 6 months to complete. Reporting from the border, Kitty Alvarado, back to you in the studio.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is in Washington, D.C. for a conference with other mayors from across the country. KPBS reporter Jacob Ayer says Gloria was at the forefront on several topics.
The winter meeting of the U.S. Conference of Mayors drew more than 250 mayors from major cities across the U.S., including Todd Gloria of San Diego. Part of his agenda included a discussion on hate and extremism.
I'm mayor of the 8th largest city in this country, one of the safest big cities in the nation. Last year, our overall crime rate fell 7.5%. Our violent crime rate went down 13%, and yet our hate crimes went up 65%.
He says mayors across the nation need to speak up against hate crimes, and that San Diego has taken steps to help them get reported.
My recipe is be vocal, be out, be proud, explain to people this is wrong, and use your bully pulpit to address it. Make sure your law enforcement is there to make sure folks can report and that folks are held accountable. And lastly, address the root causes.
Gloria also discussed solutions to reduce homelessness and moderated a session on the influx of migrants to cities like San Diego. On Thursday, he'll moderate a discussion about the conference's LGBTQ Alliance, which he chairs. He says his identity impacts his perspective when dealing with extremism.
This is a matter of personal importance. As the first person of color and the first LGBTQ person elected mayor of my city, you can imagine this issue really hits home.
The meeting runs through Friday, when the mayors are set to meet with President Joe Biden and his top staff at the White House. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
San Diego's ambulance provider, Falck, is still not meeting expectations for response times, and now city officials are preparing to take more control over the local 911 system. An update to the City Council's Public Safety Committee today shows Falck continues falling short of staffing goals. The ambulance company introduced a $50,000 sign-on bonus late last year, and they say it's helped recruit around 24 new paramedics, but 20 others left during the same time period. San Diego Fire Rescue is working to fix the shortcomings that could mean bringing on another ambulance company.
We can't continue to operate this way. It's been over a year now. We've never gotten the full unit hours or staffing levels that we need. We have patients being carried to hospitals on fire trucks, and that is not acceptable.
And Falck is also being fined $900,000 for delayed response times during the summer months. The contract update is expected to be presented sometime next month. Many families turn to assistance programs to put food on the table during the pandemic, but it's not always easy for people to get the help that they need. KPBS reporter Melissa May has more.
Currently, San Diego has 1 in 4 individuals and 1 in 3 children who are food insecure, and getting help can be complicated.
Whether it's a language barrier, whether it's trust, whether it's just not even having a grocery store and not knowing, in your community and not knowing where to turn, we want to make sure that there's information available in people's everyday environments.
The problem brought members of local feeding programs together with the U.S. Department of Agriculture for a roundtable discussion about the challenges they face.
San Diego has come up with this really innovative and comprehensive way of measuring nutrition insecurity and capturing the need that is specific to this community. It brings into consideration, the cost of living here and, the economic circumstances that are specific to the area.
Cindy Long is the administrator of the Food and Nutrition Service of the USDA. She says many special programs were put in place during the pandemic, and now Congress has made one of them permanent.
That's a program that provides EBT cards for families to use in the summertime to provide food for their children who normally would be receiving free or reduced price meals at their school.
Long said she was very impressed with the creativity and innovation the coalition and its partners have used to help those who are food insecure, like the Hunger Free Navigators program. This has been trademarked, and the coalition hopes to implement it throughout the nation.
When you take this training, you will be able to understand the various types of food assistance, from SNAP or CalFresh to WIC, to how to find a food distribution, to how to connect an older neighbor to home-delivered senior meals, etc.
Long says California is leading the nation in making sure school-age children are fed.
The one thing that I'll always highlight when I'm in California is the incredible investment that the state has made in school meals. This state has funded healthy school meals for all, and that is extraordinary.
California's Universal School Meal Program provides free breakfasts and lunches to all children, regardless of income. Melissa May, KPBS News.
We've heard a lot about the skyrocketing price of eggs recently, but there is some good news at the supermarket. Karen Kafa tells us why grocery prices are starting to come back to earth and what that means for the weeks ahead.
A better-than-expected reading of a key government index may be another indicator inflation relief is on the way. The U.S. Producer Price Index, or PPI, declined 0.5% last month compared to November, more than economists expected. And PPI, which measures the prices that sellers pay for goods and services before they reach consumers, is often seen as a solid predictor of where inflation is headed. Food prices declined 1.2%, the biggest monthly dip in 2 years. It's not enough to put a major dent in grocery bills just yet, but perhaps a sign inflation is turning a corner. And although prices for items like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, grains, and cooking oils have soared in the last 12 months, those increases dialed back between November and December. Of course, other variables can impact food production, like the U.S. avian flu outbreak that has kept egg prices climbing, and recent storms in California that could wreak havoc with U.S. produce supply.
Destruction of crops is going to act as a supply side shock. So that means that we're going to have a harder time sourcing these fruits and vegetables domestically.
But recent reports show overall price inflation moving in the right direction. down. The December Consumer Price Index, CPI, pointed to an overall drop month to month for the prices paid by consumers for the first time in nearly 3 years. In Washington, Karen Kafa, KPBS News.
It's not only families in San Diego taking a hit to their budgets. As KPBS reporter Claire Strong shows us, small businesses are also hurting due to the rising cost of things like energy and eggs.
We're getting just hit by these challenges with minimum wage and with eggs and with electricity. And so it does keep you up at night.
Megan Smith opened Batch and Box signature cookies in Carmel Valley during the pandemic. Things were tough back then, but the current price of energy, coupled with the recent rise in the minimum wage in San Diego, is anything but sweet for Megan.
You are constantly having to juggle all these different balls and think about how it impacts your employees and how you want to reward them, and you want to pay for benefits, and you're kind of always having to weigh what you can afford and what you can't and be strategic. And these are all the things that are going on in my head all the time, personally and professionally, and that's also being a part of an entrepreneur.
California has some of the highest egg prices in the country right now, with a dozen large eggs costing around $6, which is bad news for bakers like Megan. But one local nonprofit is providing some much-needed support and advice to small businesses.
We actually are here to support our businesses in any way possible. We call it technical assistance. So this year, we're actually launching new series of workshops that specifically focus on employer help, any type of marketing, operations, because we know that it's really hard out there. And if we can help them as much as possible, being as efficient and as, let's say, give them as many free resources as we can, we do that as well.
Back at the shop, and the recent minimum wage increase to $16.30 an hour, along with all the other rising costs, is causing Megan to think outside the box.
My husband actually is a mechanical engineer, and he has a master's in robotics, and so he's working really hard on how to automate a lot of our processes, particularly how we roll dough balls, how we package things, so that we don't have to rely on labor so much, and we can still provide quality, we can still provide an exceptional experience, and still have our pricing to be reasonable.
Megan still plans on opening another cookie store in La Jolla and hopes to keep her customers and staff as happy as possible. Claire Strong, KPBS News.
It's been a steady string of cold nights in San Diego, and local shelters will continue to boost capacity. The City of San Diego and the Housing Commission are once again activating their inclement weather program. Locations that are boosting capacity include Father Joe's Village, the Joan Kroc Center, the Paul Mirabile Center, and Living Water Church of the Nazarene. All are in the downtown area. The amount of space clients served and checkout times vary by location, and there are more details at sdhc.org.
More changes coming up over the course of the coming days. There can be some showers around as we go throughout your Thursday. Will be continued cool, but a drier pattern, a prolonged period of drier weather coming up for the entire state to follow. But we will be talking about some rounds of wind as we go down the road, especially heading into early next week. Here's the way we're looking at for tonight. Oceanside down into the mid-30s. Borrego Springs 39, Mount Laguna 29, 43 toward San Diego. Chula Vista dropping down to 41. Some clouds in place, at least for the time being. Most of that precipitation north, but it will be sliding and sinking its way south and east through Thursday, where there can be a few showers, especially over the interior valleys out toward the mountains. Can't rule out some snow too, say above 5,000 feet. Going to be looking at a very light amount, so not a lot of moisture to work with. The more appreciable intensities will be in the form of snow well off to our north and our east. 38 toward Mount Laguna, though I do think some snow can mix in here too. 64 Borrego Springs, there's some of those showers that we'll be contending with, especially over the interior valleys. Not so much at the immediate coast, though a sprinkle or shower cannot be ruled out. Heading into next week, though, we are going to see a few rounds of wind coming up. Again, this heading into, again, that Monday, Tuesday time frame. And we're going to be watching conditions here with low humidity, the concern for dangerous crosswinds. But overall, We are looking at a pattern change here, starting up Friday going into next week, what will promote much drier air. Let's talk about those temperatures now as we go down the road. Cool on Thursday at the coast, more clouds and sunshine. Still cool throughout the weekend. There's your wind coming in early on next week. Interior valleys can't rule out some showers. Still chilly as we go into the start of your Friday. A little warmer over the weekend. Another round of clouds and wind early next week. As I mentioned, a similar situation for the mountains, increasingly windy. Can't rule out some snow, though, above 5,000 feet. Light amounts, dry throughout the weekend, and there comes your wind as we head our way into early next week. Over the desert to locations, we'll be talking about highs climbing back into the mid-60s over the weekend with some more wind returning as we head our way into Monday. For KPBS News, I'm meteorologist Justin Povick.
If you have flooding or rain damage at your home or business from the recent storms, the County Office of Emergency Services wants to know about it. They're looking for anyone whose property sustained damage between December 29th and January 17th to complete a survey form. The responses will be used to estimate total damages countywide and determine if the county qualifies for disaster assistance. You can find out more online at sdcountyrecovery.com. With dry weather forecast, California can take a breath from a relentless series of storms. As Amanda Del Castillo shows us, the same can be said for wildlife that were shaken up by the extreme weather.
Under rehabilitation after the recent string of rainstorms, this pocket gopher is being cared for at the Wildlife Center of Silicon Valley in San Jose, where it's getting the treatment and TLC needed to return to the wild.
After all that rainwater saturated the soil, his burrow collapsed and he was then flooded and came up, and he was found on top of the surface, completely soaking wet and just hypothermic.
Hospital manager Ashley Kinney says the storms knocked this American kestrel from the sky, causing an eye injury upon impact. WCSV sharing this slow motion video offering a better look at the bird's progress. And this nocturnal western screech owl was also brought in, battered by the bad weather.
She was found grounded, lethargic, completely waterlogged. So she was just sitting on the sidewalk, covered in rainwater.
Clear examples of the Bay Area's weather impacting wildlife. Kinney says those animals are expected to make a full recovery and to be released after the next storm. Residents we spoke with weren't surprised to hear about injuries.
So I'm sure there's injured animals, probably up in the hills. Yeah. But, it's nature.
Of course, nature surrounds the Wildlife Center. Penitencia Creek runs directly in front of it, bringing up fear of flooding. This has forced workers and volunteers to create an evacuation plan with patients in mind. Kinney says wildlife centers across the coast are seeing the biggest impacts because of the inclement weather.
There has been reports of an influx in other areas due to the storms, but in our general area, we're keeping our fingers crossed that everything remains the way it has been going. But if something changes, we are fully prepared for the worst.
Navaz tonight on the NewsHour, what Microsoft's newest round of layoffs says about the U.S. economy. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Loud Fridge Theater Group staged one play in 2019 before the pandemic sidelined the company. But this week, it kicks off its first full season. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando spoke with the cast and crew of Ripped. And there's a warning. This story includes mentions of sexual assault and consent.
John Wells took the name of Loud Fridge Theater Group because he wanted to be a constant noise in the community.
We wanted to be a theater group that nourished our community, that made noise and elevated voices that had a history of being denied a platform.
Now, Loud Fridge launches its first full season with Ripped, written by former San Diegan Rachel Bublitz. Loud Fridge co-founder Kate Rose Reynolds discovered the play in 2017.
It deals with a campus sexual assault, and it really explores the gray areas of consent. This play is sometimes funny, sometimes charming, sometimes very uncomfortable, but it's going to leave you talking, and it's going to leave people with something to think about. And we thought that was a great calling card for us to start our first season with.
I think that now is the time for it, especially with the conversations that are going on about sexual assault on college campuses here in San Diego. I think that now is the time to really start talking about what consent means.
It still wasn't okay. I was drunk too. You can't, being drunk isn't a get out of jail free card. I know.
In Ripped, Amira Temple plays Lucy, a college freshman leaving an ex-boyfriend back home and meeting a new guy at UC Berkeley.
I never leave the stage, and the story is not told in chronological order. So we're going from a moment of great desperation and darkness to very lighthearted date. Like, that's just one example of what we're jumping back and forth here in time with.
We're really kind of thrown into this situation with this college student, Lucy, who is having trouble piecing together memories, who's trying to figure out what happened.
I think I was raped. No, I was raped.
So I hope that people get caught up in it and sort of fall into this whirlwind of Lucy's experience, and because of that identification with her experience, develop empathy for everyone in the show, to see a lot of different perspectives.
One of those perspectives comes from Jared, the Berkeley student played by Marcel Farron, who sees him as a nice guy.
Knowing that I was, once 19 and would get into, partying and drinking, and that's when your decision-making process kind of goes out the window, and you're a young hormonal teenager.
It's not like you were drugged.
I was wasted.
You came to my place that way. I didn't get you drunk.
But you slept with me anyway.
I had a lot to drink too.
But you remember everything.
Things happen in the play, miscommunications, blurred boundaries, and he ends up in a pretty bad predicament. But I feel for the character.
You so rarely get to see a piece of theater that is so nuanced and so comfortable living in the gray area and so comfortable asking questions and not giving the audience an answer, but just forcing you to think about where you stand and what you believe and forcing people to talk.
Which I think is a really important conversation to have, especially with young people, so you don't put yourself in a situation where you have been or have assaulted someone and you just didn't really understand the bounds of what that looks like because you don't understand what consent is.
In order to tackle these issues on stage, Loudfridge had to address them first as a theater company, so it hired intimacy director Candace Crystal.
And what helped me a lot was when Candace put it in the perspective of choreography.
Like my top?
If we can choreograph this much similar to a dance, we're very comfortable with the movements, we know what to expect, when to expect it.
It makes it so that it's all repeatable actions, so there's no surprises on stage. My scene partners are never gonna just pull something out of the bag and tell me afterwards, I thought it would be fun, which makes for a very safe environment. I know what lies ahead of me, and I know the bounds in which we can create, given everyone's comfortability.
I should go.
I hope that people come in with an open mind and leave with an even more open mind. It'll definitely leave you with a lot of questions, so be ready for that.
And be ready for more provocative theater, as Loudfridge has 2 shows waiting in the wings to make more noise. Beth Agamondo, KPBS News.
And you can stream that story anytime on the KPBS YouTube page. We also have more from Beth, including her top 10 films of 2022, as we head into award season right now at kpbs.org. California's new law to reduce the amount of food waste dumped into landfills applies to schools as well as homes and businesses. As KPBS Education reporter MG Perez shows us, Chula Vista Elementary School District teaching students how to compost and conserve through gardening.
There is a lot of life happening on this quarter acre of land in Chula Vista.
I think one side is peppers and the other side is strawberries. So these are the blooms that will turn into blueberries.
These young gardeners are students here at Finney Elementary, and they're learning the importance of caring for nature.
If we don't have plants, a lot of animals would die, and we would only have a little animals left in the world.
Chula Vista Elementary School District is home to 37 campus gardens across the South Bay, kept up by students, parents, and teachers who volunteer their time. The climate crisis and state laws targeting composting and conservation makes this soil a fertile learning ground.
They like getting their hands dirty, they like being outside, and there's nothing more amazing than seeing their eyes when they bite into something that they themselves have planted and watched grown.
What do you think?
It's really good.
The gardens of the Chula Vista Elementary School District are educational, but they're also intentional as living examples of the district's very strict wellness policy. That policy promotes movement and exercise for students and eliminates almost all junk food and candy from campuses. The Finney Elementary garden plot was an eyesore just 5 years ago.
There were broken down benches, just a lot of debris that was actually a hazard for the kids to be out here.
Michelle Posada has had 3 children who attended the school. She started the push for environmental education and action. Now she's called the Garden Mom.
If we can teach the students about composting organic waste from the cafeteria and then reusing it in the garden to grow new things, and then reducing what we're sending over to the landfills, we can make a big impact.
That impact is growing every day. MG Perez, KPBS News.
And here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. NPR's Morning Edition has a preview of Sundance Film Festival happening in Utah and tells us how organizers sorted through a record high 16,000 submissions. And on KPBS Midday Edition, talks with Union Tribune reporter Jeff McDonald about an uptick in fraud cases involving EBT food assistance. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Good night.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating and air, restoration, flood and remodeling services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.